Hey everybody, this is Lewis Speaks 2020, and today I want to leave you with a short message on people who are so generous with telling you their flaws. Initially, you feel grateful that they trust you enough to open up about their flaws and share with you some difficulties that they struggle with. But in my experience, usually these people like to use this as a manipulation tool because when they do tell you their flaws, and you choose not to listen to your intuition, which is to kind of run away, when you choose not to listen to that, they'll come back later and tell you, well, something I told you who I was in the beginning and you still chose to deal with me, so it's your fault. And they're partially right because they did open up to you, but your perception, you took it as when they told you the flaws in your ears, you said to yourself and rationalized in your mind, hey, at least they were being honest with me. At least they were telling me the truth. They trust me. Without understanding their motivation. A lot of people at times try to use this as a manipulation tool. So that way they could do whatever they want during the relationship and then come back to you and tell you things like, well, you knew who I was in the beginning. You knew how I was. No. But see, in your mind, you rationalize it as this person was being honest with you. They were trying their best to turn over a new leaf. They were trying their best to this, that, and the third. No. My new thing is, thank you so much for your confessions and your testimony. But what I'm listening out for, what are you doing about the tribulations and the trials that you're telling me? What are you doing about your flaws? What are you doing to correct your flaws? That's what I'm interested in. Because we all have flaws. We all have things that we're not proud of. But my question to you will be, what are you doing to fix those flaws? And I think that asking that question is really important. Because while someone is so generous with you about telling you their flaws, and while that may be a sign of trust, knowing exactly what they're doing about those flaws is an even deeper sign that they're ready to actually move forward and move past that. Look and listen. Look and listen. Find out exactly what they're doing to address those issues. Because if they're just telling you a bunch of flaws that they have no intention of doing anything about, it's just a confession. All you are is a human confession booth there just to listen to their woeful confessions. But if they're not acting on those confessions, if they're not acting on the knowledge base that they're receiving, they know their flaws. And if you don't do anything about those flaws, you just want to walk around hurting other people with those flaws, that's not acceptable. No one's going to deal with that. I know me personally, I'm not going to put up with that. I don't put up with people's flaws anymore. I don't put up with this stupidity. Thank you for telling me, but my intuition tells me that you don't want to change. Therefore, I'm going to have to distance myself from you until you are motivated to change. And then I'll reassess. Because that's what because everybody out there, they always are so generous with telling you about what's wrong with them sometimes. And that's just a master manipulator. A person that is trying to give you this illusion of intimacy, this illusion of honesty, when really they have no intention of changing. All they want to do is worm their way into your life to raise hell. Do not buy into that. Ask yourself, what is this person doing to address their flaws? If you don't see any active changes being made, any changes that are comfortable with you, you have to be comfortable with what you're seeing. So if you don't see something that you're comfortable with and that you can live with, cut them off. Dead them. They're garbage. You don't need them in your life. And that's word. So, this is Lewis Speaks, wishing everybody a wonderful day.